Hi, Nick. I guess you're not going to be missing this when you leave. You started here with a steam line repair, and you're going to be ending here with a steam line repair. See you later.
Do you like the new house?
Yes, I love the new house.
Is it better than the old house?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Oh, well, because everything works.
I think I might have been one of the first people that Nick hired. And one of the things that really struck me when I was a candidate interviewing with Nick is that he was incredibly direct in our interview. So whereas most of the time during my interviews I was getting sort of the Andover Newton treatment, kind of skirting around things a bit, not wanting to sound confrontational, even though I was the candidate, not wanting to make me uncomfortable. Yeah, Nick didn't really mind making me uncomfortable. He didn't seem to have any hesitation to make me squirm a little bit and see how I do. He was one of the people who affirmed my appointment, so it can't have gone that badly.
Well, Nick, I do want to wish you the very best, and I wanted to thank you for all of your work here at school. I've enjoyed so much all of our time together, and I wish you and Debbie the best.
Nick, you did not share your strategic secret when we first started working together here at City Mission, and that was to get me more and more immersed in the work and the ministry of Andover Newton. So you did a great job. It's given me more gray hair, but it has certainly helped me remain true to my calling to do the work of Christ. So I thank you, and I wish you all best and Godspeed in your new career of retirement.
One of the funniest memories I have about Nick, he wasn't actually involved in it. It was my first semester here at Andover Newton, the fall of 2008. I had moved on campus with my then fiance, now my wife Jessica, and myself and several other students were talking about Nick Carter and a lecture we had enjoyed by him, and she was looking thoroughly confused. And we finally asked her, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "What the heck was a Backstreet Boy doing on campus?" We explained to her that this Nick Carter was the president of our school, had the name first, and probably much cooler. So thank you, Nick, for confusing my wife, but helping me understand so much during my 3 years here as a student. Take care, and God bless.
First thing is what everybody sees is warm, gregarious nature, but what stood out immediately was that this is a man passionately committed to Andover Newton, to the local church, and to ensuring that both thrive, and understanding that can happen best if they work closely together.
When I think about Nick, he likes to explore, especially in the area of interfaith.
Nick Carter, you have been such an incredible asset to Andover Newton. We are powerfully thankful for you, and I am personally thankful for all the ways in which you have cared for my seminary. As you often signed off on your notes to me, I want to say to you, Nick Carter, you're the berries.
Nick, I am so grateful for your leadership these past 10 years, and I want you to know that you helped me personally with one word that you've used so characteristically, and then I would think of that word, onward, and I would use it too. So thank you for teaching me. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
My first memory of Nick Carter was the winter storm, one of the winter storms of 2008. And I had made myself a manicure appointment, and it was really cold and snowing. And up next to me drives this big shiny black car, and somebody says, "Would you like a ride?" And I said, "Well, yes." And turns out it was Nick Carter. And so of course he asked me, "Why are you walking out in the snow?" And I said, "Because I have a manicure appointment that I'm trying to get to." And he said, "Good for you for doing self-care, even in the weather." And I said, "Thank you very much." So I will remember that forever, because every time I get a manicure, I remember that it is indeed self-care and that it's important, especially in ministry. So thank you, Nick.
Bye, Nick. Thanks for bringing a hurricane of change to Andover Newton.
Nick, here's the top 7 of thanking you for all you've contributed to us as a school. Number 1, thank you for 10 years of effective and committed leadership that has transformed our appearance. Number 2, thank you for your willingness to take creative risks in exploring partnerships. That leads us to number 3, thank you for modeling the possibilities of a Havruta relationship with Danny Lehman. That encouraged me to keep seeking for a partner that I now have with Rabbi Michael Shire next door. 4th, thank you for inviting me to be an interim dean. And through that service, I was convinced that my first love is the classroom and writing. Number 5, thank you for guiding us to become a more beloved community on this institutional hill. 6, I want to thank both Nick and Debbie for your hospitality and sharing your home and lives with us, which I think has made a difference in how we care for each other. And finally, number 7, thank you for being yourself as president. That has enriched us in being known as Nick Carter's school over the years. That's been a blessing that continues your legacy here.
Well, Nick, it's been a pleasure working with you. It's been wonderful looking at all the possibilities. I'll miss you. Godspeed, my friend. Godspeed.
Hi, Nick. Mazel tov on your retirement.
Nick, thank you for all your leadership that led to the formation of Circle. You're leaving it in good hands. We're looking forward to building on what we've started here together.
Hi, Nick. The Institutional Advancement Team wants to thank you, our fundraiser-in-chief, for all the ways you've supported us during your tenure, for coaching me in grant writing,
for always supporting our fundraising events, for letting me help out as an honorary member of the team,
for providing us with cutting-edge software for database management and prospecting,
for creating the communications position and giving me a job.
Thank you, Nick, for your guidance and support. We promise to keep the money coming!
Nick, from the 4 of us here in Indianapolis, we wish you love, blessings on your way, on your continued journey, and congratulations. And remember, clergy never ever retire, Nick. They just keep rambling on and on and on and on. Happy rambling, Nick. We love you.
So, for those of you who know Nick, you probably know that he's not a guy who likes bad news. And so one of the strategies that I developed over time working with him was that when I had something I knew he wasn't going to like to hear, but I really needed to talk to him about it, I would bring scotch and small glasses and some ice over to his office at the end of the day, like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when he and I were the only ones in the building. And I would just come in and I would set the bottle and the glasses on the table, and he'd sort of lean back in his chair like, okay, what is it? And we would talk about whatever we needed to talk about and finish the day and come to some sort of resolution.
I want to thank you, Nick, for teaching me about leadership, not only as a person, but also with a good book recommendation. I have used it in my latest time here at Andover Newton to redeem the time of my student life many years ago.
Oddly enough, we met at church, and Nick was 5 and I was 4, and and our families were friends through the church, and stayed friends over all the years. So it's been a lifetime, really. You know, I've known him the longest that I've known pretty much anybody.
Border cross. Bob, we're off. At Old South Church, when you finish the race, we peal the bell.
Well, Nick, when I think about your time here at Andover Newton, two things come to mind most quickly. One's a big picture thing, the other is a more personal thing. The big picture thing is I can't imagine what it would be like to be a seminary president these days. The more personal thing is that you didn't fire me. Having once been fired when I told my boss something he wanted to do wouldn't work, you can imagine the fearfulness I had in having to share the news that the learning module related to CAMS wouldn't work for us. But you took the news well, you believed what I had to say, and you created a space in which we could discover something else that was needed. And for that, I'm deeply grateful. I wish you the very best in retirement.
When you came, Nick, our relationships with Hebrew College were cool, and you immediately set about creating very personal and professional relationships with the presidents at the college. And you studied, you talked, you prayed, you traveled together. And through that, the relationship with Hebrew College has blossomed to the point where I don't think we can imagine what it'd be like not to have Hebrew College on the Hill with us.
The partnership between Nick and me on this hill has really been one of the great blessings of being president of Hebrew College. And I want to say to you, Nick, I've really grown as a human being, as a religious person, within my own tradition as a result of knowing you, and I hope to be able to continue to build upon that inspiration for many years to come. And I know we will remain dear friends and colleagues even as you go off to North Carolina.
I hope he will relax. That that won't be. He does relax. He knows how to do it, but he doesn't do it often enough.
We're going to miss you, Nick. We're going to miss that that sparkle that you brought. So I hope that you will keep in touch with us periodically, and that you enjoy the retirement that you and Debbie so deserve.
Saying goodbye is hard. I guess I'd like to say the famous to those of us of a certain age, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans always signed off with, "May God be with you till we meet again."
St. Nick. A lot of people know your work at Andover Newton Theological School, but maybe not how you are a member of a local church. You've been a member of Old South Church in Boston for some years now, and you and I served together on the board of Common Cathedral Ministry to Boston's homeless. You have been a fantastic member at Old South Church in Boston. Thank you.
Nick, we cannot thank you enough for all that you've done for Andover Newton, and I cannot thank you enough for all that you've done for me personally. You've left some big shoes to fill, but also a wonderful foundation on which to build, and we intend to do just that. We are so, so grateful.